It is the allegation first made over the weekend that BCCI was the CIA's bank that may make this scandal as serious as it is in Britain. Government sources say that the CIA, from its headquarters here in Langley, Virginia, stashed away money in a number of BCCI accounts and subsequently used those accounts to finance covert operations abroad. The suggestion, and as yet it's no more than that, is that some of the money came directly from drug running in Central and Latin America. The Mujahideen in Afghanistan were by all accounts one beneficiary of cash laundered through BCCI accounts. So too the Nicaraguan Contras, and that's potentially explosive. The Contras, the rebels made freedom fighters by Ronald Reagan's crusade against the Sandinista government in Managua, are said to have been funded for years via BCCI. Indeed, we're now being told that the Contras were being financed through the bank long before Colonel Oliver North set up his network that sold weapons to Iran and sent the money to the Contras in the Iran-Contras scandal. Does it surprise you that the CIA used this bank?
Not really. I mean, CIA makes use of whatever tools they have at their disposal, and quite often it is banks of this type, of other type, and quite frankly, I think that's fine.
They use many conduits to cover their tracks, and they may use rather unscrupulous people when they have something to do that they think may be something they'd rather keep undercover.
So the politicians on Capitol Hill are now following the BCCI trail, and where it leads may have a considerable impact on the nomination of Robert Gates to be head of the CIA. Gates, when deputy director of the agency, called BCCI a bank of crooks and criminals. But that didn't stop the CIA in his time using the bank. Indeed, it seems that BCCI got away with as much as it did here because it was acting under the cloak of national security, and that the CIA impeded investigation into the bank's many problems.
Gates is going to be judged on the facts. That's what I intend to do, so I'm not making any statements.
But is this nomination in trouble in your view now?
I'm going to look at all the facts. I don't make any presumption at this point in time.
That from a senator whose vote the president would normally count on, and will certainly need if Mr. Gates is to be approved as head of the CIA. The fact is that the BCCI scandal is raising some old and serious questions about the way the Reagan-Bush White House was run. And it may prompt yet more investigation of what everyone knew about Iran-Contra and when, not least the then Vice President George Bush. David Smith, ATN, Washington.
Second time Gates, who served 4 years as the CIA's deputy director, has been proposed as director, but timing has worked against him. 4 years ago, questions about the Iran-Contra scandal forced him to withdraw before the confirmation hearings were complete, and the issue won't go away. From the moment President Bush nominated him this year, Gates has been under pressure from critics who want to know how he knew as little as he says about the Iran-Contra affair, when both the director and number 3 man knew most of what was going on. In written testimony, he now says he knew more than he's previously admitted, but it may not convince his inquisitors.
Those answers aren't very good. If you read them as a whole, he indicates that he was involved in a lot more than we previously knew. But he has a technical answer for every accusation, and if the committee is willing to accept those answers, I think he can make it through the process.
Charges against Claire George, who was number 3 at the CIA when Gates was deputy director, could damage him, as could attempts to revive the court case against Colonel Oliver North. But for some, the question is not so much what Gates knew about the affair as whether he lied to the Senate.
The question will really be, did he know things that he didn't tell the Intelligence Committee? Was he honest with the Intelligence Committee? And was he withholding?
He will have to have answers that the committee and I think the country find satisfactory.
Robert Gates is very much George Bush's man. The president wants him to clean up the CIA, which has been seriously damaged in the public eye in recent years. The trouble is that some of the senators who must confirm Gates in the job don't share Bush's belief that Gates is the man to do it.
The CIA director took an oath during the ceremony and later said he intended to travel to Iraq quite soon. He was congratulated by President George Bush, who described him as the right man for the job.
For the committee,
Gates is an Iran expert, in the past recommending direct talks, currently ruled out by Mr. Bush until Tehran suspends its nuclear program.
Barack Obama promised to show a new American face to the world. But these people look very familiar, and many of them have publicly disagreed with him.
Good morning, everybody.
So where's the change? Well, Obama doesn't need anyone else to provide the vision. He wants to use their experience to enact his policy.
The time has come for a new beginning, a new dawn of American leadership to overcome the challenges of the 21st century. We must pursue a new strategy that skillfully uses, balances, and integrates all elements of American power. The team that we've assembled here today is uniquely suited to do just that.
Obama is keeping Bush's current Secretary of Defense, Bob Gates. He's appointing a decorated Marine, General James Jones, as National Security Advisor, and of course making the hawkish Hillary Clinton Secretary of State. The left will grumble, but the right will find it difficult to attack such a battle-hardened national security lineup. A tough team, Obama says, will do as he tells them.
I will be setting policy as president. I will be responsible for the vision that this team carries out, and I expect them to implement that vision once decisions are made.
Defense Secretary Gates sent U.S. troops surging into Iraq. Obama expects him to get them out again, according to his 16-month timetable.